with sentence patterns. Now, what is a sentence pattern? A sentence pattern is the arrangement of sentence elements. This will help you to construct correct sentences. So we have the sentence patterns below, which are SLVSC, SIV, STVDO, STVIODO, STVDOOC. Let's know them one by one. Sentence pattern SLVSC stands for subject, linking verb, and subject complement. Subject is usually a noun or pronoun and the doer of the action in the sentence. And a linking verb is a helping verb, which in this one links the subject and the subject complement. The subject complement comes after the linking verb and describes the subject. To fully comprehend this, let's have examples. In the example, my father is intelligent. Father is the subject because he is the one being talked about in the sentence or the doer of the action. If we will ask, who is intelligent? The answer is the father. So this will be our subject. Is the linking verb because it links the subject and the subject complement. Intelligent is the subject complement because it comes after the linking verb and it describes the subject. If you will ask, how is the father described in the sentence? The answer is intelligent. So this intelligent will be our subject complement. In addition, always remember that the subject complement is usually an adjective, words that are used in describing. Another example, the children were very excited. The word children is the subject because they are the one being talked about in the sentence. The linking verb is were. It connects the subject and the subject complement. And our subject complement is the word excited because it describes the children. If you will ask, how will you describe the children? The answer is, they were excited. So it is correct that this will be our subject complement. So we have the SLVSC pattern. Let's have another example of SLVSC pattern. Slamet seems happy today. As you can see here, our subject here is Slamet because he's the one being talked about in the sentence. If you're going to ask, who seems happy today? The answer is Slamet. So it is correct that it is our subject. Followed by the linking verb seems. Aside from the linking verbs I have given you, there are also other linking verbs. And you will identify if a verb is a linking verb if when you substitute it with words is, are, where, and are, the meaning of the sentence will not change. Let's try to substitute it with the word is. We will use is because Slamet is singular and the time is in the present time. Now let's substitute. So the statement will be like this. Slamet is happy today. As you can see here, the meaning of the statement doesn't change. Next example, the baby rabbit will soft and furry. Our subject here is rabbit because it is the one being talked about in the sentence. If we are going to ask, what feels soft and furry? The answer is the rabbit. So it is correct that it is our subject. Now, our linking verb here is the word feels. Why do you think it is our linking verb? The word feels is our linking verb because it expresses a state of being, and at the same time, if we will substitute it with the word is, still the meaning of the sentence doesn't change. And for our subject complement, we have soft and furry. It is also because it comes after the linking verb and it describes our subject, which is the rabbit. If you will ask, how is the rabbit described in the sentence? The answer is soft and furry. Next is the STVDO pattern, which stands for Subject, Transitive Verb, Direct Object. Again, subject pertains to the doer of the action. Transitive verb is one that is used with an object. It is an action word. And a direct object is usually a noun or a pronoun, and it answers the question what or who. Let's take a look in our examples. Ken catches the ball. Ken is the subject because he is the doer of the action, because he's the one who catches the ball. The word catches is the transitive verb because it is an action word and it has an object that will receive the action of the verb. And our direct object is the word ball because it answers the question what. If you will ask, what does Ken catch? The answer is ball. So it is correct that it is our direct object. Aside from this, the word ball is a noun. Next, the martial arts coach kicked Johnny on his thigh. The subject here is the coach because he's the one who kicked Johnny. And the transitive verb is the word kick because it is an action word. And the name Johnny is the direct object because it is a noun and answers the question who. Who was kicked by the coach? The answer is Johnny. So it is correct that it is our direct object. Another example. Edlin conquered the lands of the Arthur tribe. Can you find who is our subject here? Okay, very good. So our subject here is Edlin because she's the one who conquered the Arthur tribe. The transitive verb is conquered and the direct object is the lands of the Arthur tribe because it answers the question what. If you will ask, what did Edlin conquer? The answer is the lands of the Arthur tribe. So this will be our direct object. Next is the sentence pattern SIV, which stands for subject and intransitive verb. Intransitive verb is an action word that doesn't have a direct object. Usually in an SIV pattern, it's usually followed by an adverb or a preposition. Let's take a look in our example. He smiles. As you can see, we have the subject he and intransitive verb smiles. Because it is an action word, at the same time, it doesn't have a direct object. Another thing that will help you determine if the verb is an intransitive verb is when the statement answers the question when, where, how long, or how often. In other words, if the verb is followed by an adverb, which I mentioned earlier. Example, the girl dances every day. As you can see, this statement is answerable by the question, how often? If we will ask, how often does the girl dance? The answer is every day. So, it is correct that the word dances is an intransitive verb. Another example, the old wizard spoke at the park. The verb spoke is an intransitive verb because we don't have a direct object. Moreover, this statement is answerable by the question where. If you're going to ask, where did the old wizard spoke? The answer is at the park. Next sentence pattern is the STVIODO, which stands for subject, transitive verb, indirect object, direct object. Now, what is an indirect object? When we say indirect object, it is a noun or pronoun to whom or what or for whom or what an action is completed. To clearly understand this, let's have examples. JR built Hai a house. Before identifying the indirect object, let's determine first the direct object. What did JR build? Hai. Okay, a house. So the house is our direct object because it answers the question what. Now to locate the indirect object, let's ask this. For whom is the house built by JR? The answer is for Hai. So Hai will be our indirect object. Next example. Rihanna made him a cake. Let's find the direct object by asking, what did Rihanna make him? The answer is a cake. Since this answers the question what, this will be our direct object. Now what is the indirect object? Let me help you find that by asking, for whom is the cake Rihanna made? The answer is for him. So him is our indirect object. We also have another example which follows STVIODO pattern. Chelsea threw Kylie the ball. Now let's proceed to the next pattern. We have the STVDOOC, which stands for Subject-Transitive Verb, Direct Object, Object Complement. Object complement describes the direct object. It may be an adjective or a noun. Example, the boy painted the wall green. To locate the object complement, we have to find first the direct object. To find that, let's ask, what did the boy paint? The answer is the wall. So since it is answerable by the question what, wall will be our direct object. Now, according to the definition earlier, object complement describes the direct object. Which do you think describes our direct object? Okay, very good. It is the word green. So this will be our object complement. Notice as well that the word green is an adjective. Let's have another example. He called the challenge very difficult. So let's find first the direct object by asking, what did he call? The answer is the challenge. So the word challenge is a direct object. Now to find the object complement, let's ask, how did he describe the challenge? The answer is very difficult. So very difficult is our object complement. Take note as well that this is an adjective. Next example. Jiro called Gio a rich man. Again, let's find the direct object by asking, who did Jiro call? The answer is Gio. So this will be our direct object. Now, to find the object complement, let's ask, how is Gio described in the sentence? Okay, a rich man. So rich man is our subject complement because it describes the direct object, who is Gio. So that's the end of our discussion for today. I hope you've learned something. Thank you.